Alright, so last video, I cyberbullied two classmates for potential internet clout, and that video did so well, I'm back for round 2. In case you missed it, I had a group project for my camera and motion class last semester, and basically my group mates did not know how to contribute for like 2 entire weeks. In this video, I'll be covering part 2, or basically the filming process for the whole project. I do want to mention that before I begin, I'm fairly good acquaintances with these people. I still respect them a lot, and for the most part, they are pretty chill to be around. This video is highlighting, like, a negative experience I had with them, but, like, outside of poking fun at the situation itself, I hold no ill will towards these people. So we left off with a planned day for filming the project and a premise. So we still needed, like, a little bit of work to be done. I ended up writing a script for our project the next day and ended up sending in a rough draft to our group chat. Now, I am not a writer at all. You can probably tell because you're listening to this script I wrote. But either way, I was super self-conscious about this script. I ended up sending it to my group mates, and there was a little note, and I said like, "Hey, I suck at writing. Please read through this and tell me what needs to be changed. This is a rough draft. I'm sorry, I don't write very often, blah, 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 blah." This request ended up being ignored completely, though, so I figured that the script was probably perfect and I was the next Stephen King. For anyone wondering, it was basically a conversation between two people discussing the end of the world, and one person was super chill about it, and the other was super stressed about it, and the whole joke was that the super chill person had a plan to save the world, and said plan was just complete nonsense, and then the stressed person would, like, die of a heart attack, pretty much. Now, if you cringed listening to that, I am deeply offended, because that shit would have gotten me into a deal with any streaming company in the world. People would not want to sleep on that masterpiece. It's just too good to pass up. Nobody would ever give up on it. So now we had a script, and we had all planned to film the project in one of the empty classrooms in our campus's business building. Now, the classroom itself was locked to anyone on campus who wasn't taking a certain course. Luckily, someone in our group was in that course, so we could gain access to the room. Next, we had to get actors, which it actually went pretty well. I ended up getting someone from my class to help out, and one of the group members got one of their friends from the esports team to help out. I made a reservation for all the equipment we were going to use, and from here it looked like we were ready for the day of filming, and surely nothing could go wrong. Alright, so as with every story of this nature, plenty of stuff went wrong, and it was a very stressful week. So like I mentioned in the last video, we filmed this during the last week of classes, which meant there was a lot of stuff going on. Most notably, I had agreed to help other people film their final projects, and I'm not complaining about that at all. I loved being able to hang out with, like, so many people, film with them, it was fun, no complaints there. I even helped my professor film a commercial for my school, which I am in very briefly, and it's my proudest accomplishment. So we were filming on Friday, so the last day of classes, and I was helping people film Monday through Thursday. So even though it was like a fun week, I was stressed out of my mind, especially since I was helping my classmates finish their projects before my group had even started ours. So I got through all the filming for the week and met up with my group that Friday to film. Now, we only had until 4 p.m. to film the whole project, as one of our actors had to leave at that time, so we decided we would meet at the building at 9, and that would give us 7 hours to film the whole project. So at 9, I was in the building, and I met up with our 2 actors, except my other 2 group mates had not arrived yet. One of them was just a few minutes late, and the other one wanted to grab breakfast beforehand, which was, like, fine. It was gonna be a long shoot, except that meant I had to haul the camera, boom mic, dolly, jib, external monitor, lav mic, 2 lighting kits, a steady cam, tripod, and 2 beefy baby stands upstairs to where we were filming. Luckily, our actors were willing to help with that. Eventually, my other 2 group mates showed up to the shoot while I was setting up the equipment, and our actors were reading through their copies of script. And that's when one of my group members looked at me, dead in the eye, after showing up late, mind you, and straight up told me they had not even looked at the script yet. This was the moment I truly became Heisenberg. So we finished setting up, and my group mate looked at the script for the first time. And because I was the most accustomed to the script, I ended up taking the role of the director. And we filmed a few shots, like, outside the classroom we were going to film in. And then once we wrapped up there, we moved all the equipment outside the classroom. And then once we wrapped up there, we moved all the equipment outside, like, the classroom we were going to film at. And my group mate was like, okay, guys, I got this. And scanned their key card to unlock the door, and nothing happened. So then they did it again. Nothing happened. At this point, my stress could know no bounds, and I was just really trying to reassure our actors that we knew what we were doing, and that this was all part of the plan, and that we were going to be entering the professional workforce in a little over a year. Since we couldn't film in there, I made a judgment call, and we just ended up filming in a small student area that was just down the hall. And from that point, the filming actually went pretty well. We filmed for a few hours, took a small break, and then filmed some more. Unfortunately, though, we were nearing our 4 p.m. deadline, and we weren't as close to finishing the filming as we wanted to be, so we had to hurry and film the rest of the scenes of the actor that had to leave. And we were cutting it close. We actually finished like 2 minutes before their ride came to pick them up. It got really close. We were all really stressed about it. Either way, though, we wrapped up their filming and got back to filming the rest of the other actors' scenes. And eventually, we were done. At this point, it was around 6 p.m., and we had been filming way longer than we thought we would be. And our actor at this point was, like, falling asleep, and I felt pretty bad, so he went off back to his dorm to rest, since he had literally just done so much work for us. Although then, the same dude who showed up late and hadn't read the script walked up to me and said that they wanted to get dinner and then meet their girlfriend for a club they were both in, and then left. Which meant my other group mate and I had to spend an hour moving equipment downstairs and returning it to the equipment rental center. Now, with all said and done, the project actually turned out pretty well. I don't think my classmates enjoyed it though, since nobody laughed at any of the funny bits I wrote, and that was devastating. I was in shambles as a result of this. But we ended up getting a decent grade on it, and the professor seemed pretty satisfied. So the moral of this story is not to major in video production. Get a job that's actually secure and pays well.